Catch me if I fall.
Good afternoon and welcome to Premier League Live this afternoon, the relegation battle as Everton take on Nottingham Forest in our first of two Premier League fixtures for you this afternoon here live on LFS. Yesterday was a big day for the bottom and the top of the Premier League table as Luton were thrashed at home by Brentford 5-1 after an incredible performance from Brentford that got them out of the mix, shall we say, of any sort of relegation battle. Luton, on the other hand, find themselves remaining in the bottom three. And to the other bottom three sides, Sheffield United and Burnley fought off in a proper six-pointer at Bramall Lane as well yesterday, and Burnley coming out firm favourites and firm winners in the end by 4-1 against Sheffield United, who have now conceded 88 goals this season. They're just one goal away from equalling the Premier League record, 2 away from an all-time Premier League record of goals conceded in a single season. Incredible stuff. And it ended last night, another away win, 3 away wins yesterday, and it was at Molineux where title challengers Arsenal headed back top of the Premier League table with Leandro Trossard and Martin Odegaard's goals separating their game against Wolves to win by 2-0. Liverpool will have a chance to respond later away at Fulham, but first it's Everton, Nottingham Forest, two sides outside the bottom three for the moment, but could find themselves dragged back into that fight fairly shortly. Only a few points between them and the bottom three. What a huge game, and the teams are as follows. Jordan Pickford starts in goal for Sean Dyche's side, who have a back four of Ashley Young, James Tarkowski the captain, Jared Branthwaite and Vitaly Mykolenko in defence. A midfield of Idrissa Gueye, Andre Gomes, Dwight McNeil and Jack Harrison in attack, Abdoulaye Doucouré and Dominic Calvert-Lewin in a more advanced role. On the bench for Everton this afternoon, Virginia, Godfrey, Keane, Garner, Onana, Warrington, Beto, Shermiti and Dan Juma. For the travelling Nottingham Forest, They start with Matt Sells in goal, a back four of Nico Williams, Musa Niakate, Murillo and Ola Aina in defence, Danilo and Nicolas Dominguez in a defensive midfield too, with an attacking four of proper quality. Morgan Gibbs-White the captain, Giovanni Reina, Callum Hudson-Odoi and in-form striker Chris Wood, who, by the way, was Sean Dyche's favourite player when he was Burnley manager. On the bench for Forest and Nuno's side this afternoon, Turner, Omobamidele, Toffolo, Montiel, Yates, Sangare, Alanga, Ribeiro and Origi. Strength in both sides, attacking quality on both sides. Everton struggled to score goals. Nottingham Forest struggled to keep them out. What will we see in the combination here this afternoon? These two sides fighting for their lives yet again. But which one will come successful? Everton, 1 win in 15. Nottingham Forest, not in bad form themselves, with a very good last record in their last 5. 1 defeat in the last 5. Who will blink first? Who will lose? Will there be a draw? We'll find out. All the drama here this afternoon. Kick off from Goodison Park in this relegation battle between Everton and Nottingham Forest is on the way next. Good afternoon and welcome to Premier League Live this afternoon, this Sunday afternoon at an earlier time, of course, of 1:30, usually 2 o'clock kickoff, but they've decided to give us a half an hour earlier today just to put a spanner in the works. Why not, indeed? We also have 2 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League as well. We'll update you when those get underway in about an hour and a half's time, plus, of course, live commentary of Fulham against Liverpool when that gets underway at 4:30 this afternoon. Absolute great day of Premier League football. All ends of the table, every point, every position is up for grabs, and we will be covering every single second of it here on LFS this afternoon. Everton in their home kit of blue and white, and Nottingham Forest in their home strip of red. So blue against red here on Merseyside. Not the blue and red we know, but it's Everton at home and with a chance at maybe giving themselves a bit of breathing room to the bottom 3. They win this afternoon, Everton. They will go 5 points clear of the bottom 3 with the game in hand on those teams in and around them, by the way. So they could find themselves clearing themselves of safety, or of danger, and to safety if they are victorious this afternoon. Forest, on the other hand, if they win this afternoon, they will go above Everton, of course, in the table. Onto 29 points. That will be 4 points clear of relegation. So 3 points for these two sides is absolutely paramount this afternoon. But not many goals. There was the stat prior to the game, prior to kickoff, about how Goodison Park is the ground you least want to go to if you want to see goals. It has seen the least goals either scored or conceded for Everton this season out of any Premier League stadium. Which is certainly not what the neutral will want. But what we want today is an exciting game between two teams who have a lot to play for and a lot to go for. So we will see if we can see that. And of course Everton's home crowd, Goodison Park crowd, will be a massive factor in that. Sean Dyche said that prior to kick-off about how his side will need to lean in on their home kind of atmosphere that they can create. There's one long ball in behind there from Jordan Pickford from the free kick, really high up, dip down into the Forest box, but too far ahead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin to make an impact. Of course, the last time these two met this season, Forest had a different manager in Steve Cooper. Everton got the 1-0 win over Forest back in December. They're actually in really good form. I was looking at the form in and around that time. That win over Forest actually kicked Everton onto a 4-game winning run in December. They'd lost 1 of 7 in December, which is quite remarkable considering where they are at this moment in time. It's points deductions that has Everton in this kind of form and in this position that they're in of relegation at this moment in time as they try and play it long through Branthwaite, but go straight out of play for a Forest throw on the right hand side. But points deductions, both of these sides have had points deductions this season. Everton 8 points, Forest 4 points deducted, and they both sides will want that reduced. I mean, appeals are certainly on the cards, and all that conversation has been throughout today about this game and how their appeals are going, and what will it matter if the appeal runs over to the end of the season, which the Premier League at their very best are trying to avoid at any cost. To be honest, I wouldn't blame them. No one wants the league table decided after the final day, which could happen if Forest's appeal goes to schedule. Good challenge by Niakate, but his header was straight into the mix, but nicely brought down by Giovanni Reina. Lays it off to Williams, and now gets Forest on the break. Here's Morgan Gibbs-White running in on goal. Plays in Nico Williams. Williams across, and body's in the way, blocking it. Reina keeps it alive. Wood misses the shot. Falls to Ola Aina, but the shot blocked by Everton there. And Forest got into a really good position. Really nice link-up play between Giovanni Reina and Nico Williams down that right-hand side. Nice interchange of play. Williams carried it down the right. Played it into Morgan Gibbs-White, and then Gibbs-White spotted Williams in space. Williams cut it back from the byline, and Everton had bodies in the way to clear it away. But a good move by Forest, and I talked about their attacking quality up front. They have real creativity in the team, Forest, and that's the concern. Or maybe that's kind of their biggest advantage, really, that they have attacking quality and quite a bit of it, and that can unleash something, can deliver something special. You know, games like this could come down to individual moments. Lovely link up again. Here's Reina. Finds Williams in space. Williams with a shot blocked and saved by Jordan Pickford. He'll get it back again. Cuts it back across goal. And then the header from Idrissa Gueye back down to his keeper for Everton. But Forest started bright here. Their attackers starting to show a bit of flair in the early stages. And that's what I was talking about, that ability, that quality they have up front, Forest. They do have some very good players. I mean, Giovanni Reina, a great acquisition for Forest on the attack. Of course, on loan from Borussia Dortmund for the season. Giovanni Reina. It's only his second Premier League start of the season. This is his 8th Premier League appearance, second from the first whistle. Yet to score, though, as Everton steal it away at the back. Whip a ball in, and Niakate to head it behind for the corner, which gets a roar from the Goodison crowd. Good work by Jack Harrison there with the pressure. That's how quick this game can turn. Forest up one end could score, and they get a bit lax at the back. One giveaway, and Everton are in. Set pieces are a key component. The first corner of the game. Everton love set-piece goals, second most in the league this season from set-pieces. Forest the worst at defending. The most set-piece goals conceded, Forest this season, with 22. So not a very good kind of mix for Forest anyway, from Forest's point of view. Seemingly a pretty perfect formula for Everton. We will see what they can do from the first corners. The referee just sorting out a few issues in the box as always. Anthony Taylor getting involved. So corner, right hand side. Still pushing and shoving in there. Tarkowski and Morgan Gibbs-White. Cross whipped in, back post. Bouncing down, and then the free kick will go Forest's way. As Chris Wood was pulled down in the box. So it will be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. The ball in, actually Forest did quite well at it. Didn't allow Everton to get any clear bodies or any clean headers. You know, the talk before the game that, you know, Everton, their kind of key component is their set pieces. It's a massive part of their game. The majority of their goals have come from set pieces this season, so they certainly rely upon them. That's a clip there from Chris Wood, trying to nick the ball, but end up taking the defender. James Tarkowski in the process, so it will be an Everton free kick. And one thing for Everton defenders to deal with today will be Chris Wood's physicality. It's one of his key components. It's one of his key attributes. His physical nature. His ability to hold off defenders. And he's good form at the moment, Chris Wood. 4 goals in his last 5 games. Long ball from Pickford into the box, and another header. It was Chris Wood that headed it behind, and another Everton corner. As I was saying about Chris Wood, scored in 4 goals in his last 5 games, including 2 games, one against Luton, one against Forest, where he scored, or one against Palace, sorry, where he scored the only Forest goals of those 2 games. So crucial in terms of picking up points in his goals as well. Corner whipped in, right hand side, right into the box, and Sells had to head up, or palm it wide and behind for another Everton corner. Got right up there. But again, the cross comes in, and it looked like Forest were favourites to win the first one. They did end up putting it out for the corner. It's the referee here, making sure that the corner is in, the ball is around the quadrant, in the correct position. Gomez to take the corner. Right-footed, low and kicked away at the front post by Nico Williams. Brought down by Harrison for Everton. Whips a ball in. Away easily there by Nicolas Dominguez. As Everton have it back on the halfway line. Gay. Crossed up Mikolenko. Now Harrison. Down the left Everton come. Here's McNeil. Gomez. Through to Harrison, and Forest win it back. Nicely there by Dominguez and Nico Williams to battle for it. That'll be another key component of this game. The physical nature, they're battling in the duels and the challenges. Being accurate with those is a big key component for this game. For both teams, and how they're going to battle each other and how they're going to compete. They do have physical players, strength on the pitch. Pickford kicking long. Again, flicked on by Calvert-Lewin. Straight into the hands of the Forest keeper, but there was a foul in there in any case. Niakate brought down by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Deemed to be a bit too physical there for Anthony Taylor's liking. I see they're both jumping up. I mean, there's really nothing in that. Because Niakate tries to jump up, but he jumps way too late. And he ends up headbutting the elbow of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin won the ball cleanly. I don't think that there was a foul in there for me. I'd say it was all of Niakate's doing. The fact that he went up to win the header, but won it far too late. Tried to jump far too late, and the ball was already gone. Nonetheless, Forest have that free kick. Niakate. Nico Williams. Nice 1-2 link up with Giovanni Reina. Now Murillo. Out to the left hand side to find Ola Aina. Now Hudson-Odoi has to retreat back to Murillo. Under pressure. Does get the ball away, but nicked away from Ola Aina as they battle for it back for us. But nice pick up by Everton. McNeil, and try to go through the lines. Referee says no handball. For Everton were adamant there was a handball in there. As Pickford clears it away. It's a bit frantic at the moment. I don't know who that would benefit more. Maybe Forest. Then again, if the Everton crowd get behind it, make it more kind of energetic, could help Everton. So, still in the balance here at Goodison. 12 minutes gone. Everton 0, Forest 0. No real major opportunity so far. Just the one shot for Forest. That was the Nico Williams effort that was saved by Jordan Pickford. It's the only shot we've seen so far. Here's Tarkowski for Everton. The space in the middle. McNeil. Lovely way to ball. Well gathered by Murillo to clear it away for Nottingham Forest. Targeting that ball and that run in behind for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Here's Mikolenko. Branthwaite to find Andre Gomez. Nice link up with Mikolenko, but good tracking by Dominguez. Battling was Nico Williams, and in his challenge, committed a foul on Andre Gomes, so it will be a Everton free kick. It's just he was bringing his leg back down there, Nico Williams, just connected with Gomez, so it is a foul, it is a free kick, and a chance for Everton to feed the ball into the Forest box. Another set piece for the Toffees early on. And Gomez to take this free kick. Just took the corners in the early stages. He's going to now take the free kicks as well. First real opportunity to deliver from this position. Right footed. Tries to go for goal, but high and wide there from Andre Gomes, and left a bit to be desired. Goal kick. Well, Everton's kind of set piece ability was massively kind of highlighted prior to the kickoff, and that's where kind of you would feel that if Everton are going to find that kind of differential between them and Nottingham Forest, that will be it through set pieces. So far, their deliveries haven't been pinpoint enough to find any of their own players. And Forest have had it pretty easy, really, from those early set-piece chances. Corners, free kicks. Dominguez under pressure, plays it off to Aina, does well. Harrison scrapping back, but Aina holds on to the ball well, and now Reina finds space for Williams down the right-hand side. Acres of space. Gibbs-White now trying to flick it round, but crowded out there in the middle was Morgan Gibbs-White. As Branthwaite breaks away, look at the run this is. Here's Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin trying to feed it into the box, but again, no one there. And Forrest can just recover. Dominic Calvert-Lewin just came wide there and was expecting someone to make the run when he's the centre forward. Good challenge back by Branthwaite. Doucouré. Now out wide to McNeil. Chops in field. McNeil tries to feed it in behind. Gomez blocked off, and Niakate with a clearance. Everton starting to build. Mikolenko. Doucouré, bad touch. And give the ball away. Dominguez on the turn finds Aina. Aina trying to find the run of Morgan Gibbs-White through the middle, but easily cut out by Everton. As Calvert-Lewin has it now. He feeds a ball in behind. McNeil swapped out to the right. McNeil back in field. Finds Idrissa Gueye. Now Doucouré. Out to the left hand side. Finds Gomez. Forrest tracking across, and Nico Williams there nicked the ball away from Andre Gomes and ended up being clattered. There the Welshman, and Forrest will get the free kick. They're shuffling, and their ability to just kind of commit their shape across the pitch for us so far has been quite good. In the way that in structure they've defended Everton quite well in moments. But Everton have spaces, they've bodies, they've runners, they've quality. There are gaps in this game for both teams to exploit with their attacking quality. Seen kind of notions, slight glimpses of what can both attacks can offer. Just need the accuracy now and the consistency. They deliver that and they'll have chances. As Forrest get a throw in on the left hand side. And all the talk before the kick-off, Chris Wood spoke in an interview about how the players have worked so hard all week and they need to start showing it. They need to show and play their game and do what they need to do in this stadium. It's Niakate penalised for a push on Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It's just a bit silly, that, really. That's what I mean about those challenges. You have to be smart in times, but you also can't be giving away cheap set pieces and free kicks, and Niakate just literally, I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was running into nowhere, and he just pushed him over and trying to win the ball back, and gives away a free kick now, which Harrison and Gomez are over. This is on the right-hand side now. Another chance for Everton to have a ball fed into the box to try and find a target. Forest's defensive line on their own on the penalty spot. Harrison leaves it. Gomez right-footed, hits the wall. And that was a really anticlimactic free kick. Pretty kind of dreadful, let's just be honest. Let's be completely and utterly honest. Quite dreadful. That free kick from Everton, but again, there are signs that there are going to be set-piece chances. That's what I mean about the accuracy. So far, Everton, they've had opportunities. They've had corners, they've had a couple of free kicks in good areas. They've had outlets so far. It's just the deliveries and the crosses. As one comes in now, Williams with a header away, falls to Mykolenko over the bar. But just as I was saying, the deliveries on those crosses and set pieces so far have been quite poor. Not to the standard that we've seen from Everton this season, and maybe that's letting them down, not allowing them to create those chances. They get them on the heads of a player in a blue shirt in there. They can be a threat. Remember, they're not the most free-flowing of football teams in the league, Everton. 32 goals scored this season. Only one team in the league has scored less, and that's Sheffield United on 31. So they certainly don't score many goals, Everton, considering they've played more, would have after this game, if it goes 0-0, they will have played more games than scored goals this season. At the moment it is level, 32 games played, 32 goals scored, which is averaging 1 goal a game, which is nowhere near good enough if you want to kind of get yourself out of the danger mix. I mean, it's the Sean Dyche way. This season, the majority of Everton's wins have been those tight games, those 1-0 wins, those kind of dig-out wins where they defend for a long periods and get one opportunity and take it. And look at that. Good threat up top, but lovely challenge by Dominguez as Everton looked in there. And Dominguez had to make that challenge. Lays it off now to Danilo. Out to the left-hand side was Hudson-Odoi. And he'll win a free kick. Or sorry, a throw-in, apologies. Hudson-Odoi off Ashley Young. Aina. Again, cuts inside. Beats off the challenge of Harrison. Aina. Out to the right flank. Williams made the run. Here is Nico Williams. Doubled up upon, but uses nice skill to feed it across to Reina. Forest all the way back with Niakate as they build again. Good kind of retention of possession so far from Forest there. Ability to recycle the ball when they look like there's no opportunities on there. Not afraid to retreat to keep the possession and recycle the ball. As they have another throw in here on the right hand side. Nico Williams to take. Williams finds Danilo. Danilo with a more hopeful ball than anything, and Chris Wood wasn't on the same page. And Everton get it back. Gomez. Now Doucouré finds Harrison. Out to Ashley Young on the right. The diagonal ball infield finds Calvert-Lewin. Gomez, ball over the top to Doucouré on the run, but Matt Sells, the Forest keeper, was quick to that and came running out and grabbed it with firm grip. But again, an idea of the kind of combination that Everton want to try, using Calvert-Lewin as a more kind of build-up player at times as well. Not afraid to bring him a bit deeper and bring him more in the build-up of the game rather than just that kind of pinpoint striker. That's lovely work from Chris Wood though. Good hold-up play. Lays it off now to Morgan Gibbs-White. Hudson-Odoi, Forest ahead here. Or forward here. Hudson-Odoi has to retreat. Blocked off that time. Good challenge by Idrissa. Ainanai. Out wide to Hudson-Odoi. Forest come forward, but Everton retreating bodies and have in their shape now, which kind of brings the Forest attack to a momentary halt as Danilo tries to break away. And a challenge. Man goes down in the box, but referee says nothing. Forest maybe wanted a penalty there. I don't see if there was. I mean, I'll have to see a replay. Maybe VAR will check it, but I wasn't too certain. And Forest did well there to try and win the ball back. It was Giovanni Reina. Gio Reyna. It did go down in the box. He's back to his feet, so I think he's pretty happy that... I don't think that there was much complaints from any of the Forest players about that. More of a collision than anything. And we play on. Gibbs-White. And VAR, of course, just to confirm, have had a look and have stuck with the referee's decision of no penalty. As they tried to link it up there, Reina and Gibbs-White, but given away as Forest just win it back through Niakate off Everton, who tried to find the spaces themselves in behind, but again, misplaced passing from both teams there, letting their attacks down. Brings it back to that accuracy point that I made about the fact that both of these teams will really be looking for tight-knit accuracy in their attacks because, you know, they don't keep it together. They're not going to really find the finishes or create the chances they want. That's why we're not expecting a goal fest here today. Although Forest, not the worst team in terms of scoring goals this season. 42 goals scored. I mean, it's not the best. They are in the bottom 5 in terms of scoring goals this season, so they're not really carving teams open themselves. And they are conceding more, but when they score, they seem to score quite a few in a game. Forest. And they're not in bad form themselves. I mean, I talked about Everton's form in the build-up. 1 win in 15. I've just seen the replay of that challenge that Reina went down in the box for. See it again. Well, to be fair, Ashley Young did kick him. But I don't think that Giovanni Reina will be taking up acting classes after this. I don't think it was particularly well acted out. He made more of a meal of it than anything, so I don't think there was much in that. And no penalty is probably the right decision, I would say. It's a bit soft to me. As I was saying, Forest not in bad form themselves. Only one defeat in their last 5 games, which was away to Tottenham, which is understandable. Tottenham away, not an easy place to go, but winning against Fulham at home, those draws against Luton, Crystal Palace and Wolves, all in recent times. Positive results. I mean, that's 6 points from the last 5 games, which is a pretty decent return when you're in relegation form, or when you're in the relegation battle. That's a poor kick by Pickford, and luckily for Everton, Forest couldn't kind of capitalise, and Pickford got back in time to steal it away. But an awful kick. Reina picked it up, played it through to Morgan Gibbs-White, and Gibbs-White just couldn't reach the ball on the follow-through. And just let him down, and Pickford could recover, but again, nervy moment there from Jordan Pickford. Here comes Idrissa Gueye for Everton. No one's challenging him. Keeps the ball for the moment. Now Gomez. Out wide to McNeil. McNeil with a cross. Calvert-Lewin's in there, up for the header, but pretty tame one from Calvert-Lewin. And an easy catch indeed in the end for Sells, but better from Everton. Nice delivery by McNeil down the left. Recycling possession. Not giving up on the opportunity and going back right away. McNeil with a cross. A nice cross. And a pretty decent header for Calvert-Lewin. A half chance, really. There wasn't much pace on the ball in the end from the header, but another good opportunity. Decent chance for Everton there. Their first shot on target of the game. Forest trying to play out there. Almost giving it away as Reina keeps the possession. Lays it off to Wood. Wood linking up with Danilo, and this is a good move. Here's Hudson-Odoi down the left-hand side. Charging in on goal. Hudson-Odoi. Oh, the fumble by Pickford, but he does grab it the second time round. And just for a second there from the Hudson-Odoi shot, Pickford fumbled it a bit, and I thought Chris Wood was going to nick it away, but an awkward one for Pickford. It kind of bobbled towards him. He did grab it before Chris Wood can nick it away from him. Good move by Forest. Got that counter-attacking ability. When they do they want to move it quick in transition, Forest, that's clear. We've seen it multiple times. They're trying to get their players going a bit more direct, a bit more no time wasting aspect of their attacks. They're just trying to get forward when they find the space, when they see an opportunity. They're trying to spring, Forest, and it's interesting to see whether that will go for them or whether it will actually come back, and if they don't take their chance, come back to maybe bite them. There's another cross from McNeil, this one a bit overhit as it falls to Idrissa Gueye! And it squeaks in! Good strike from distance, and Idrissa Gueye with a shot sneaking in the inside of the left post, and Everton have the lead. And the Goodison crowd uproar. They're loving this. And a pop shot from distance from Idrissa Gueye ends up into the back of the Forest net. And again, Forest stepping off. They clear the ball away, half cleared. It was actually McNeil's overhit cross that actually confused Forest. They couldn't clear it away comfortably. The ball bounced down to Idrissa Gueye with a right-footed one, and it's not the most clean. It's not the most enamorous of strikes. It's not the most beautiful of connections. But what matters is that it found the back of the net. What could be a crucial goal for Idrissa Gueye and Everton. Everton 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Goodness me, how huge that goal could be for Everton in their bid for safety. And that will get the crowd up, get them going, get them behind their team. But again, too easy from a Forest point of view defensively there. No one engaging, no one willing to go and win that second ball on the edge of the box. Everyone camped, just afraid to step out and end up getting punished, allowing the space on the edge of the box, allowing the opportunity for a strike, and they end up paying the price and find themselves behind. It was a really good idea from Idrissa Gueye. Why not hit from there? You never know. And that time round, it was a very good chance and a very good goal. Well taken. As Forest have a free kick here. I'll just show you in a second on the table updates what that means for the Premier League table, of course, because these two teams in a direct relegation battle against each other. One of these two could be on the chopping block by the end of the campaign. At the moment, it's looking much less likely that Everton will be in that conversation come the next few weeks, because as it stands, Everton will go 5 points clear of the relegation zone with a game in hand on the teams in and around them. So we have Everton in 16th on 30 points. Forest just a point above relegation. Crucially though, Everton have a game in hand, Forest do not, and it will be a 4-game shootout between Nottingham Forest, Luton and Burnley as to which of those two of those three teams could find themselves down. But of course, Everton can be strung back into the mix. This is only as it stands, of course, at this moment, with Everton leading. A long way to go. There we are. Exciting stuff here on the Premier League Live. Of course, we'll watch Everton back in action in midweek as well. We'll tell you about our midweek fixtures for you as well to come in a moment or two, and fairly shortly. Don't forget, we have another Premier League game to come for you today. 4:30 kickoff from Craven Cottage as the title race continues. Liverpool look to keep themselves in the mix and in the conversation. They head to Craven Cottage to face Fulham, a side who they haven't beaten in the last 4 games against them. Just 1 win in the last 5 against Fulham, and that was the 4-3 win at Anfield earlier this season. What an absolute cracker that was. If we're given anything like that, it will be a treat of a game today. 4:30 kickoff from Craven Cottage. We've 3 o'clock kickoffs as well for you this afternoon at Villa Park and at Sellers Park. Aston Villa take on Bournemouth after their great midweek in Europe. And Crystal Palace looking for back-to-back wins for the first time under Oliver Glasner after their win over Liverpool last week at Anfield. First team in the league to win at Anfield this season. Palace like to build upon that in their home form and take on West Ham, who were knocked out of Europe in midweek at home against Bayer Leverkusen. So David Moyes' side looking to bounce back and maybe give themselves European football next season. 3 points would go a long way to finding that. Those 2 games kick off at 3. Everton pushing again, and Murillo having to force it behind for another corner under pressure. Keeper wasn't coming for it, and Murillo had to kind of scramble it away from Calvert-Lewin. And that could have been very wrong if it had been the other side of the post. But it does go behind for the corner to Everton. We'll tell you about those teams in those 2 or 3 o'clock kickoffs when we do get a break and play. Actually, we'll tell you about those at half-time in this fixture. About 11 minutes away from half-time here at Goodison. Everton 1, Forest 0. Gomez for the corner, left-hand side, whipped in with the right boot. And again, headed away by Forest, back the way it came. Gomez will pick it up. Harrison with the cross. Away that time by Danilo. Gomez battling with Hudson-Odoi to win it back. Gomez takes it down, using his feet to flick it away from the Forest players, and Nico Williams had the last touch. Everton will get the throw in. Mikalenko to take. Battling there as Andre Gomes hits it off Giovanni Reina, and another Everton throw. It's all about Everton managing this game now. You know, talk about wanting to kind of take advantage when you are ahead and kind of build up a head of steam, but at the same time, you don't want to get ahead of yourself. You don't want to overcompensate for the fact that you are leading. You don't want to take too much in your stride and catch yourself lacking at the back. That's certainly what Everton don't want to do, is catch themselves out, continue their concentration, and know that 1-0 is a very tight scoreline and anything can still happen. It's Nico Williams just in a challenge there with Dwight McNeil, but the referee didn't give a free kick, which surprised a few. Forest end up giving Everton the throw in. They kick it up the field and they can't keep it in play. Tarkowski with the header. Again, up forward, brought down by Idrissa Gueye. Under pressure, back to Branthwaite. Nice 1-2 triangle work there from Everton to find the space now on the right hand side. Tarkowski. McNeil trying to rescue the ball. Stolen away by Dominguez, but again won back by Everton at the back. 8 minutes of the first half to go. Everton 1, Forest 0. And here come Everton again in space. Ball from Doucouré, but that was a bit impatient. And that ball goes behind for the Forest goal kick, and apologies there from Abdoulaye Doucouré to his centre forward, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Williams. Under pressure, does well to keep the ball under constant duress there. Danilo. Again, spinning away, but also almost spinning himself into trouble. Gets it back, though, in a bit more space this time. 1-2 link up with Reyna. And the ball in behind, looking for the run of Hudson-Odoi, but good defending by Everton and get it back to their keeper. It's another thing Everton need to be aware of as well, that threat in behind from Forest. The fact that they can interchange their forwards. The likes of a Chris Wood can come deeper. Gibbs White can take up that centre forward role. Hudson-Odoi as well. Gio Reyna. All four of Forest attackers can interchange in different positions. They're quite fluid up front, those players. It's another thing they need to be wary of. Keep track of every one of them. Will be their main focus, and so far they've done a pretty good job. Hudson-Odoi, though, fouled, so a free kick will go Forest's way. Niakate. Aina. Looking for Wood in behind. Wood using his heading ability. Brought down and Gibbs White. Now Chris Wood. What a save. What a save by Jordan Pickford. Still alive though. Aina. He crosses in. And into the hands of Jordan Pickford. What a save. See this again. Chris Wood heads it down. Gibbs White with it. I don't know whether it was a shot or a cross. Nonetheless, it falls to Chris Wood on the tight angle. Uses pure power behind it, Chris Wood. And Jordan Pickford just throws himself at the ball. Completely encompasses the shot with full body full kind of body block and incredible goalkeeping. Stepped up there to Pickford. Because that would have been a certain goal otherwise for Nottingham Forest. Striker in form. As they try and go a bit too direct there, Forest, given away. Here's Idrissa Gueye. He tried to play it straight through the middle and given away the other way this time. Here's Dominguez. Running forward, plays it out to Hudson-Odoi. All the way back across to Niakate. A glimpse there that Forest can still get themselves back into this game. Nothing's out of the realms of possibility at this moment. It's a nice run by Murillo. And tried to find the ball in behind, but no one had made the run. So an easy gather it will be for Jordan Pickford. Seeing the save again. Absolutely wonderful save by Pickford. And then he made the follow-up save. I just didn't see that until the replay there. He actually makes his follow-up save with his right leg as well. As Wood got the ball back. Incredible. Incredible stuff from Jordan Pickford there. Although that wasn't incredible. Straight away to Dominguez. Gibbs White. Now Danilo. Forest not able to capitalise upon that mistake. As they scramble up for a throw-in. A poor kick there by Jordan Pickford. Allowed Forest to have the ball back just as we're singing his praises. 3.5 minutes of the first half to go, and the narrowest of leads for the home side. Everton 1, Forest 0. Here at Goodison. A lead and a possible 3 points that, as it stands, would put Everton 5 points clear over relegation. Crucially, 5 points clear. As it stands, though. Branthwaite with the kick away. Chris Wood keeps it alive for Forest on the left. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Now, Gibbs White with the cross. Headed away. Back out the way it came there. Gibbs White headed it down. Aina. Now Hudson-Odoi. Chipped into the box, but to far beyond the reach of Nicholas Dominguez there. That chip ball by Hudson-Odoi, and Pickford will gather again. But Forest trying to attack and threaten in the latter stages of this half, showing a bit more attacking intent, and maybe a bit more joy in attacks. Forest, it's a bit of a dry spell throughout the majority of the half. Lovely touch by Reina. Now Gibbs-White lays it off down the right. Here's Nico Williams. Does Everton try and get bodies back as they Forest retreat back to Niakate? Dominguez. "90 seconds or so. The first 45 to go. Gibbs-White with a nice run. Find Williams. Williams back to Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White with a cross. Some fizz cross. Hudson-Odoi. Calls of handball. Referee will give a corner. Did take a touch off Ashley Young. The referee not saying it was a hand. Hudson-Odoi adamant it was. That's a handball. It's played onto his arm, and I think his arm's out there. I think that's a handball. Just when I'm seeing it, he does move his arm towards the ball. If it doesn't end up given, I don't think it will be given. I think VAR have checked it and cleared it. Corner whipped in. Headed away. Everton maybe got away with one there. But Forest still pushing in the later stages of this first half. Cross comes in again. Wood was up. There was a player down in the box at Everton, absolutely surrounding the referee here. Yet a player down in the box in James Tarkowski, and we're desperate for the referee to stop the game, but he continued to play on. And just say it again, what happened. I mean, he went down, but I don't know what they're arguing there. Confused that. Nevertheless, they did get it away from danger. I don't know. I mean, I'm seeing the replay of the possible handball shite, and I think it's handball, personally. It was cleared by VAR. Sure, that well had a quick look, and cleared away, but I'm not too sure myself. Forest will have a corner, though, on the right-hand side, and it won't be given. It was cleared and checked and given as no penalty by the VAR. 2 added minutes then. At the end of the first half, there's going to be a yellow card coming out here. Referee's walking to the sideline, over to the coaching area, and he's going to put out a yellow card for one of the Forest coaching staff. So that's just unnecessary. Just sit down, would you? Really? There's no need for that. Anyway, Forest have a corner. Danilo over to take on the right hand side then for Forest. And this could be a good ending to the half if they can find something here. Cross comes in. Headed away at the front post by Calvert-Lewin. And it will be another Forest corner. Ending the half on top here, Nottingham Forest. But crucially, it'll be huge if Everton can hold on. Take a lead into half time. Corner whipped in again. And away at the front post again. Calvert-Lewin again. And a third successive corner comes the way of Nottingham Forest. And 2 corners cleared away at the front post. Need to find a bit more whip in those balls, Danilo. In swingers. Here comes another. This one gets a bit more height behind it, but this time it was over the bar. No one could get any connection on it, and it curled out for a goal kick. And that was the last action of the half. Half time here at Goodison. And half time where Everton have the lead, despite Forest's late pushes for a possible equaliser before the interval. Everton hold on, and Idrissa Gueye's goal is the difference. Jordan Pickford played his part as well, making a few saves. Forest with a couple of corners, pretty easily dealt with. And so far at the half, it's Everton have the lead, but it's Forest that probably have the momentum. Half time at Goodison, Everton 1, Nottingham Forest 0.
Catch me if I fall.
Welcome back to Premier League Live, the relegation battle half-time at Goodison Park. It is Everton 1, Nottingham Forest 0 in the early kickoff here in our Sunday games. 2 3 o'clock kickoffs as well for you. We'll get team news from those two games in a moment as well for you. We'll keep you up to date in the latter stages of this game when they get underway, and we'll confirm the final scores for you when we're live for our late game this afternoon between Fulham and Liverpool, kicking off at 4:30. Those last three fixtures on your screen, Tottenham, Man City, Brighton, Chelsea and Man United, Newcastle, they were all due to be played this weekend, but of course with FA Cup semi-final weekend, they've all been postponed with three of those teams involved in FA Cup semi-final action. So those will be played, interestingly enough, in the midweek prior to the final game of the season, in that midweek, so in mid-May for you. So a couple of weeks to go before you see those three fixtures being played. Man City did beat Chelsea in the semi-final of the FA Cup yesterday by a goal to nil. Bernardo Silva's goal, the only difference between the two sides. Chelsea were probably the better team on the day, but missed opportunities and failure to put the ball in the back of the net from Chelsea was their biggest downfall, and when you do that against the best, you will be punished. And Manchester City looked tired. I mean, they played 120 minutes and heartbreak against Real Madrid, looking to go back-to-back in the Champions League, but knocked out by Real Madrid, the enormous Real Madrid, the enamoured, the inevitable Real Madrid in midweek. Looked tired, but they did get the job done, and they're in another FA Cup final. To find out who joins them, kick-off at 3:30 from Wembley this afternoon. Manchester United against Coventry. Championship side Coventry City against Premier League Manchester United. So United win, of course, with another Manchester Derby FA Cup final, same as last season, which Manchester City ended up winning. So will we see a repeat of last season's final? That's a possibility, or will Coventry make the dream come true and get to the Wembley FA Cup final? We'll find out. We'll keep you up to date with that as well. Right, as I was mentioning earlier before kick-off, Brentford, Burnley and Arsenal all winning away from home yesterday. But at the moment, that trend of away wins isn't continuing as it stands, with Everton 1-0 up against Nottingham Forest. But if I run you through the stats don't read the same as the scoreline, really. If we look at the opportunities, the statistics of that first half, Forest had more possession, 58% to Everton's 42%. Forest actually had more shots and more shots on target. 5 shots, 3 on target for Forest. 3 shots, 2 on target for Everton. One of them finding the back of the net. 4 corners apiece. Both had a big chance, which they both missed. Forest have been better with their passing accuracy. 85% passing accuracy to Everton's 79%. So a bit better from Forest. The stats saying that they are the better side of that first half in terms of opportunities and kind of attacking quality. But so far, they are the ones that haven't found the back of the net so far. The XG at the moment is also in Forest's favour, 0.36 to Everton 0.11, which is both quite low, but considering the competition, the size that we're seeing, it's not kind of uncommon that we would find something like that. The XG actually on the goal, Idrissa goal, had a 4% chance of finding the back of the net from that exact position, from that shot, from that exact moment. 4% chance of scoring that that opportunity. So, very good goal to get for Everton, really, in that first half. For a first half where they've really, they've had opportunity, they've had moments up front, but the final product, the end product, is what was missing from Everton, and I have to talk about it. They target set pieces, they target free kicks, and they had a spell in that first half where they were looking positive, looking well in control, and Forest looked like they were struggling. We're kind of in limbo at points in that first half. And Everton couldn't capitalise. They do have the lead, which is big, and maybe kind of on the chances that elsewhere that they'd missed, maybe they deserved a goal. But they had corners and set pieces. Maybe that's what Sean Dyche will want to improve on. That's their biggest strength. That's their biggest kind of attribute, Everton, in attacking areas. Their ability to kind of score from set pieces. So far, they haven't shown that. The deliveries have been a bit under par. I've not been particularly happy with it in terms of what I've seen. Forest, on the other hand, although the stats say they've been the better side, the majority of that is stat padding towards the end of the first half, really. The majority of it, their attacking opportunities and their ability, came in the final 5-10 minutes of that first half. More the final 5 minutes when they really had a few opportunities. And being honest, I think Forest maybe deserve to be level. I think it should be a level game. But Idrissa Gueye's goal is a moment. It's an individual moment. It's a bit of brilliance. It's a bit of kind of a freak goal, shall we say. It's not the most common or the most expected of goals. So that goes in Everton's favour. Other than that, really lacking huge opportunities in the game and attacking areas. And that's, probably Forest's best chances have been corners or even penalty claims. They had 2 penalty claims. The first one from Gio Reyna, not much complaints. He was clipped by Ashley Young, but not foul. And then the second one, the handball on Ashley Young, I think is a penalty. Being honest, I know it might be harsh, but his arm is out. It does hit his hand. Yes, it's kicked into his hand, but he does move his arm to manoeuvre the ball out of play for a corner. I think it's handball. VAR didn't agree. Referee didn't say that it was on field, and no penalty was given. Maybe got away with one. Who knows? But we'll see if Forest can kind of channel that and find something in the second half. Who knows? Right, so that is 1-0 at half time. We'll be back there for the second half commentary at Goodison in a couple of minutes' time. Team news then from our other 2 games, the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League this afternoon. We'll start at Villa Park, Aston Villa against Bournemouth. Villa this afternoon in the top 4, looking to give themselves a bit of space, a bit of headroom. Of course, Tottenham not playing this weekend is big, is very big for them, to try and give them a bit of space, a bit of headroom in the race for top 4. If I can get the team news. Here we are. So 2 Aston Villa changes from the game against Lille in midweek, where they won on penalties. Nicolo Zaniolo, he's injured, of course, came off in that game against Lille. So he's injured. He's replaced by Leon Bailey, who was a big part of Aston Villa's comeback in midweek. And Morgan Rogers, who came on in that game as well. Morgan Rogers actually came on for Nicolo Zaniolo in midweek. Starts as well. He's in for Douglas Luiz, who drops out. Morgan Rogers also a key component to Villa's comeback. Bournemouth make just the 1 change from their draw against Manchester United last weekend. Disappointed that maybe they should have got more out of that game, Bournemouth. But in the end, they did get a point, which is big. Luis Sinisterra, disappointingly for a Bournemouth point of view, could miss the rest of the season with a muscle injury, and he's out of the squad completely. Lloyd Kelly comes back into the starting 11 for Bournemouth. So the full teams are as follows. For Villa, Martinez in goal, Cash, Consa, Torres and Digne in a back four, McGinn, Tielemans, Rodgers in midfield, and Bailey, Diaby, Watkins up front for Villa. For Bournemouth, Neto in goal, Smith, Zabarnyi, Senesi and Kelly in defence, Cook, Christie, Uatara and Kluivert in attack, Kerkez and Solanke up front for Bournemouth. Villa, a chance if they win to go 6 points ahead of Spurs. Spurs will have 2 games in hand though over them, so that's in their favour, but those 2 games in hand are against Man City and Chelsea, so not easy games for Spurs, which will give Villa points on the board and will give them a good chance at top 4 this season, which it looks unlikely. The top 5 will be enough for Champions League football this season. To the other game between Crystal Palace and West Ham this afternoon. Let's run you through the team news there. Crystal Palace only change from last week's win over Liverpool is enforced. Chris Richards replacing the injured Jefferson Lerma, so Palace looking for back-to-back wins under Oliver Glasner after that win against Liverpool last week. Home against West Ham, only one change, Chris Richards out, replaced by Chris Richards in, replacing Jefferson Lerma in midfield. For West Ham United, they've made 3 changes from their draw with Bayer Leverkusen in midweek, ultimately a defeat on aggregate. Angelo Ogbonna, he replaces the injured Naif Aguer at centre-back. Lucas Paquetá returns from suspension in place of Jared Bowen, who is unavailable today. Bowen not involved. And Emerson comes in at left-back for Aaron Cresswell, while Calvin Phillips is fit enough for a place on the bench for the Hammers. Full teams as follows. Crystal Palace, Henderson in goal, Klein, Anderson, Richards and Munoz in defence, Wharton, Hughes in midfield, Wharton and Hughes, and Mitchell, Elise, Mateta and Eze, the attacking 4. For Palace. For West Ham United, Fabianski in goal, Sofal, Zuma, Ogbonna, Emerson in defence, Alvarez, Soucek and Paquetá with alongside Ward-Prowse in midfield, Kudus and Antonio in attack. Big miss for West Ham losing Bowen, not involved today. And Palace, if anything will give you confidence, it's a win at Anfield. The only team to win at Anfield this season so far will give them confidence. Can they make it count at home against West Ham today? West Ham, of course, with a chance they can go back into big European places with a win. West Ham win this afternoon, they will go up to 6th in the table before United and Newcastle play. Of course, not playing this weekend, of course, would play each other, actually, which would be even more of a benefit for West Ham when they do eventually play. West Ham will be hoping they both drop points in that game. When they eventually play each other, West Ham can go to 6th with a win. Villa can go 6 points clear of Spurs with a win. Opposing sides, Bournemouth, they can jump into the top half with a win away at Villa. And Crystal Palace, they can take themselves a good distance away from the relegation zone and away from anyone else in and around there. They're not in relegation contention really anymore. A win would certainly solidify that and put them above Brentford in the table and a good 11 points clear of relegation. Right, second half from Goodison on the way in just a moment.
Catch me if I fall.
Welcome back to Premier League Live. Relegation battle, Everton against Nottingham Forest. Second half from Goodison on the way in just a moment. Don't forget, more Premier League action for you this afternoon. Fulham against Liverpool is a 4:30 kickoff this afternoon. We're at Craven Cottage for that for you. Liverpool can't go back top of the table today, but can go within goal difference of Arsenal, level on points with Arsenal, top of the league, and can go above Manchester City with them not playing this weekend if they win away at Fulham. Fulham, of course, would look to get revenge from their earlier kind of dramatic late defeat to Liverpool earlier in the season. They can jump into the top half if they win this afternoon. Right, that's the coming 4:30. But back here at Goodison, the other Merseyside team are in action, and they've got a lot to play for themselves. They're currently leading, and they're going to make a change. No, it's not going to make a change, actually. Apologies. It looked like they were making a change. It seemed to be. It's just Ghana on the back, which I read it wrong because it's Idrissa Gana Gay. But it's crucial for Everton, really. Second half, hold on, not give Forest too much to think about, and certainly don't give them enough to get an equaliser. But Forest, their objective will be start the second half the way you've ended the first. They ended the first half pretty well and dominated Everton in the final 5 minutes of that first half. I'm sure Nuno Espirito Santo will want more of the same from his team in the second half. And we'll see if they will do so. Let's see then. So we're ready to get underway then for the second half. Everton kicking from left to right. Forest right to left, obviously, for this second 45 here at Goodison. Everton just one win in 15. Can they add to their really poor form, really poor tally of wins? Well, their last home win against Nottingham Forest, they actually haven't beaten Forest in their previous meeting here since Forest returned to the Premier League last season. They actually drew 1-1 here in this fixture last season here at Goodison. The last time they beat Forest here, Everton, was back in February 1997 in a 2-0 victory. It was the last time that they beat them here. Forest's last win was, of course, after that in January of 1999, which was a 1-0 win for Forest on that occasion. So neither side have won on this ground this century, which is quite considering against each other. They've only played once, though, so it's not really that big. They'll want to see it through here this in the second half, Everton. Of course, they're well known in recent seasons, at the very least, for their tight 1-0 wins at home. Just to scrape out a result to get any sort of points. Their home form has been crucial in previous seasons to their fight against relegation. This season, it will be exactly the same. Their home form is actually not great this season, Everton. I'll talk about that in a moment as Forest come forward and Hudson-Odoi on the chase. Nice ball. Taken down, Hudson-Odoi. Diagonal run into the box. Looking for options. Cuts it back to Aina. Back to Hudson-Odoi. As the bodies flood back for Everton, and Hudson-Odoi's cross is headed by Tarkowski, but not behind as Jordan Pickford comes to grab. Everton's home form, as I was saying, this would only be their 5th home win of the season here at Goodison. This is their 16th home game of the campaign. Previously, only 16 points picked up at home. That would be the joint kind of 5th lowest of the league. Only Palace, Luton, Burnley and Sheffield United have less points at home than Everton. Ideally enough, the team above Everton in that run is Nottingham Forest. Their away home form is not great either. Only 5 home wins this season. Gibbs-White. Nico Williams. Here's Morgan Gibbs-White, who I have to say was a bit quiet in that first half. Gibbs-White, at times, he's key to what Forest do, but at times, maybe just the passing, less of the individual play himself in that first half, Gibbs-White, which maybe he'll want to add a bit more to in the second half, if he can. Although, not that type of individual involvement. as it was headed out there by Gio Reyna, and out for the throw-in to Everton. And talk about Everton's home form. Forest's away form is actually quite dreadful. They've only won twice away from home this season. They've picked up just 10 points on the road this campaign. Only Luton and Sheffield United have actually garnered less points, the same or less points, away from home this campaign. This will be their 11th away defeat, with only Sheffield United having lost more on the road with 12. Still a long way to go though. Here's Ashley Young down the line, trying to target Calvert-Lewin, away by Murillo on the cover, and now Niakate. Danilo trying to get Forest forward. Wood, nice link up with Reyna though. Heavy touch though from Giovanni Reyna. Allowed Dwight McNeil to recover it back to his keeper. If that touch was just perfect from Reyna, maybe Forest could have been on. Good link-up play, good hold-up play by Chris Wood there. Getting his team involved, coming a bit deeper and laying it off to his wide players. Just having a look here on the kind of in the crowd, in the stands. Hold on a moment. Forest are in. Here's Hudson-Odoi. The flag stayed down for the moment. Plays it across. Good header away by Brandt, but he needed to. The flag stayed down. Here's Forest back with it. Reyna. Now Nico Williams. Williams with a chip across, but straight into the hands of Jordan Pickford. That was a good opportunity for Forest. Hudson-Odoi running behind. It's kind of like Everton like that. The flick on from the centre forward and the runner in behind the defender. I mean, it's Everton-esque. That, as I was saying, just before that attack came to fruition, we just had a camera on the crowd, and one interesting moment, Mark Clattenburg, former Premier League referee, is the Premier referee analyst for Nottingham Forest. Not a normal position you have at a football club. Maybe not, according to some pundits, the most perfect thing, or the most kind of favourable thing to do for the league, to have a refereeing analyst. But Mark Clattenburg's getting the money from the Forest team, who are trying to kind of squeeze out the best that they can from every avenue that they possibly could. I don't know if, would that count as influencing referees? I mean, you're not directly influencing referees, but you're kind of putting pressure on them that they're being analysed. Who knows? I don't know. Forest ran up a change, I think. It looked like someone was a bit of movement on the Forest bench. That will come fairly shortly. They have the throw-in on the right. Headed out by Everton. Another Forest throw-in, a bit further up this time. Nico Williams to take. Down the line, Gibbs-White battling. Nico Williams battling for it back as well, as Forest have it at the corner flag, and Everton defend it well, and the last touch is off Gibbs-White as Everton win the throw-in. Not to Morgan Gibbs-White's approval, shall we say. Mikalenko with a throw. Bit of head tennis in there, and it's straight out of play for another throw-in to Everton. And Forest are going to make that change then. It's going to be Anthony Alanga that's coming on, and Giovanni Reyna is the replacement. So Nuno Espirito Santo making a change in his attacking line. And the American replaced by the Swede. Am I right? Is he Swedish? He is. I knew my flags. There we are. Crossfield ball there from Forest, but given away by Nico Williams. Ashley Young now finds Harrison down the right-hand side for Everton. Harrison looked to take on Aina. Aina with a block. Out for the corner. It all comes from Nottingham Forest trying to be a bit more expansive, looking for the switch ball. Ashley Young wins it, lays it down the right hand side to Jack Harrison. Tries to take on Ola Aina and wins the corner for Everton from that resulting attack. A promising attack for Everton, which gives them another set piece. McNeil with a left-footed cross, deep to the back post, headed down into the mix, and the shot was wide from Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who was first to react to the dropping ball into the box. He completely missed the target. He's so far wide. They're so far at the back post. They're wide of the back post, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin just swings a right boot at it, and he got it completely all wrong. Off target completely there from Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But just a loose swing at the ball, hoping more than anything that it would go in, but it ended up going wide for the goal kick. Here's Alanga. Try to play it forward to Nico Williams. Williams dispossessed as Niakate has it back. Recycles the ball. As lovely ball. And behind by Danilo. And the challenge on Hudson-Odoi. Again, Forest won a penalty, but referee Anthony Taylor says no. And here come Everton away. I don't think that was a penalty. I have to see a replay, but on first look it looked merely nothing in it. To me, anyway. They've already had a few penalty claims in the game, Forest. At this rate, they could have 4 or 5. That's their third penalty claim of the day. We've still another 35 minutes to go. And VAR have had a look at that one and, again, cleared it and agreed with the referee's decision on field. There was no foul. Misses ball forward there. So the referee played advantage on a possible foul. And Forest getting it back. But the referee is not the most popular man inside Goodison. And he plays on. There's a player down. And the Everton fans not happy. But they're playing on. As he's allowed to do, the referee. Totally within his rights to continue the game. Everton not happy. They're still claiming to stop the game. And now he will stop the game, Anthony Taylor. After a long spell of continuing. And it's Jared Branthwaite that's down. But the referee's completely within his rights. Unless it's a head injury, the referee does not have to stop the game. And at no point was it indicated there was a head injury to Jared Branthwaite. The referee had a good look at it. Again, I'm looking at this. And on first glance it didn't look like a penalty. But on the replay, again Ashley Young challenging Hudson-Odoi, and it goes right through the back of him. Hudson-Odoi got the ball, and Ashley Young is riding a tightrope beyond belief. This must be the tightest tightrope he's ever ridden, or anybody's ever ridden in history. He's had 3 penalty claims against him. If I was Sean Dyche, I'd be taking him off. I wouldn't be risking any of that. As Jared Branthwaite's receiving treatment, but that's the 3rd time that Ashley Young has been involved in a penalty claim today. 2 for challenges and 1 for handball. They've got options off the bench, and I'm not saying to take him off because he could possibly give away a penalty. But if he's putting in challenges that Forest are claiming for, it's already creating a seed in the referee's head. Not that I'm saying that Forest are trying to influence the referee, but they probably genuinely believe it's penalties. And I would probably agree that they have a claim. It creates that seed in the referee's head of, this has happened so many times, there's no way that it's not happening. You know what I mean? And it kind of unintentionally kind of influences the referee. And that unconsciously influences the decisions. So if I was Sean Dyche, I would maybe be thinking about changing my right back, but At the moment, they're continuing. Branthwaite's back to his feet. He's on the sideline, so he'll come back on momentarily. But Forest with the extra man at the moment. Everton down to 10 with Branthwaite off the pitch for the moment. Here's Hudson-Odoi. He's battling, running into trouble. Does keep the ball low. And Everton will get their player back onto the pitch, Jared Branthwaite. Not able to take advantage of that man advantage that they did have for the mere 20-30 seconds. Forest unable to test Everton at all at any point in that moment. Here's Aina. Gibbs-White linking up with Hudson-Odoi. Gibbs-White now at the byline. Try to cut it back, but it looked like it had crossed the line. The referee, though, the officials, continue the play and allow Everton to carry the ball away. Here is Branthwaite. Goes long, tries to target Calvert-Lewin, but all over him was Moussa Niakate, who gets it back for Forest. And Forest, at the moment, seem to be building up a head of steam. Oh, the poor header by Tarkowski. Gibbs-White! He's missed the target. What an opportunity. One ball over the top. It's Murillo's ball. Poor header by Tarkowski. He tried to head it away. It kind of loops the header behind him. It bounces down. Gibbs-White on target, completely kind of in behind in a very good position. And he just tries to find the far corner. And he completely misses the target, Gibbs-White. Massive opportunity to get the leveller for Forest. And I said he would want to get himself more involved in terms of the finishing in the second half. We had a huge opportunity there to give Forest the leveller. And in the end, it came to nothing. Hit wide as the eternally injured and eternally fragile Dominic Calvert-Lewin is down, receiving treatment. So that's another change incoming, I think, for or a change incoming for Everton. Beto is ready on the sideline, so that looks to be a straight swap indeed in a moment or two to come. So a bit of a brick and play. 30 minutes to go. Everton 1, Forest 0. And Forest probably the better side in the second half. Said the end of the first half the better team. I think they've started the second half exactly the same way. And Everton at the moment seem to be holding on. Not many clear-cut chances for Forest, but certainly looking more of a threat in attack in the second half, as they're going to make this change then, Everton, as Dominic Calvert-Lewin is able enough to run off. And they're actually not going to make this change. Calvert-Lewin's going to continue. Well, Beto was ready and like literally seconds away from coming on. He had his shirt ready. He was literally waiting for the board to go up, and Everton seemingly made that change. That they changed their mind. So Calvert-Lewin will be back onto the pitch momentarily after receiving a bit of treatment. Gibbs-White wins the challenge. Referee says play on. There's no foul. And here's Danilo. Forest in attack here. Nico Williams with the first time ball. Too far for Chris Wood. Too much for Chris Wood to gather as Everton come away. Mikalenko. Nice adjustment. Good footwork to lay it off to Andre Gomes, who's been being hounded by Gibbs-White there. Does ride that challenge as Tarkowski under pressure at the back. Chased down by Chris Wood. Former teammates, of course. Lays it off to Harrison. Well won back by Aina. Now Hudson-Odoi. Has to go back to Danilo. But again, a couple of glimpses there that Forest are winning those battles, those challenges, a bit more in midfield. Winning the ball back off Everton cleanly. Murillo. Down the left now, Hudson-Odoi. First time ball, nice running behind, but Danilo couldn't chase it down quick enough there, that ball from Hudson-Odoi, and it goes behind for an Everton goal kick. But fine glimpses of what Forest can show. Just need to finish it off now. Well, Only 14% of the possession in this second half so far has actually been in Everton's final third. In the final third for Everton, so the majority of the ball has been in their half, and they've been under the cosh for the majority of the second half. 86% possession outside of Nottingham Forest defensive third of the pitch, as Pickford kicks it away. Bouncing ball. Aina has to hold off the challenge of Mykolenko as he clears it away. Flicked on by Gibbs-White. Ball played in behind there by Dominguez, but picked up by Mykolenko, who clears for Everton. Niakate under pressure. Loses the ball and will also keep it at the corner flag as Niakate recycles it for Forest, as Everton thought they'd had the ball there. Thought they'd want to throw in, but the ball stayed in play. Here's Anthony Alanga. Nice link up with Dominguez. Now Danilo. Breaking the lines again are Forest. Here's Wood. Down the left-hand side to Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi chips it into the box. Away by Branthwaite. Dominguez now. Recycles. Brought down on the right-hand side by Morgan Gibbs-White, but the flag goes up against him. But again, a bit frantic from Everton in the back there. Just clearing the ball away with a bit of kind of nervousness, a bit of fear in them. They're standing up, but they are allowing the pressure to build upon them at the moment, Everton, and that could be a worry. Entering the final quarter of this game in a moment or two. Maybe they're going to make a change or two, Everton, momentarily. As Forest win the ball from the Everton clearance again. Williams with a pip ball forward. Chris Wood trying to link it up with Alanga, but blocked away as Tarkowski brings it down for Everton. They try and play out here. Toffees, but again, dispossessed. Danilo with a long switch ball, bouncing out to the left flank. Hudson-Odoi battling with Ashley Young, but deemed to have fouled Ashley Young in the process, so it will be a free kick to Everton. Yeah, it is a bit of a kind of a push. Not much, but it is a bit of a push from Hudson-Odoi, which sends Ashley Young to the floor. And around 5 minutes ago, we thought that change was going to be made, that Calvert-Lewin would be coming off here for Everton. Well, he is now. So Calvert-Lewin coming off, and also Andre Gomes will join him. And he will be replaced. They will be replaced by James Garner and Beto. So double change for Everton. Beto on for Calvert-Lewin and James Garner on for Andre Gomes in midfield. There for Everton. So double change for the home side. Pickford here to take this free kick for Everton. Goes long. Arna didn't win the first header that time. And Forest will get the throw in. Beto won the header. And Forest will get the throw in. Everton really lacked attack and outlet threat throughout the game, but most certainly in this second half. One shot in the second half for Everton, off target of course. And Forest themselves have only had one shot in the second half. But the difference is that Forest are in the ascendancy, on the front foot, trying to change that. Trying to adjust the scoreline in the process too. Nico Williams battling, gives away the the throw in. Nail biting indeed for Everton. There's Niakate there, wins the challenge, and Everton cries of handball on the Forest defender, but the referee's having none of it. and allows the game to play on. Crowd trying their best to maybe sneak something out of Anthony Taylor there, but referee immoved. Unmoved. Immoved. Stupid thing to say. And that long ball from Forest, straight into the hands of Jordan Pickford. Well, I think Forest, at this moment in time, they are on the front foot, they're on the ascendancy, but they're just lacking that final ball. Lacking the accuracy in the final third. That was good. Physical play by Danilo there to win the ball. That's one thing that can be struck as a positive so far in the second half for Forest. They've been better in those duels, better in those challenges, more physical, but adjusting. As a poor mistake there by Idrissa Gueye, as Forest are now in. Here's Alanga. Wood couldn't touch it, and then it was too short for Gibbs White to get. But again, that lack of accuracy in the final third in the box for Forest, letting them down again from a possible good position. Here's Garner to try and get Everton forward. Harrison down the right-hand side. Maybe an opportunity here. Harrison. Now McNeil. Young. Out wide to Harrison on the right flank. Couple of bodies in the box for Everton. Harrison up against Aina. Back to Ashley Young now. Harrison again. Reluctant to put the ball in the box, and Ashley Young now will. Crosses it in, and it will be straight into the hands of the Forest keeper, Matt Sells, who hasn't really been tested very much today. I mean, he was tested at least once, and it snuck into the corner inside of the post for Idrissa Gueye's goal. The only goal of the game so far here at Goodison. Is there more to be unfolded? 20 minutes to go. Everton 1, Forest 0 here at Goodison Park. A goal and a 3 points that would take Everton 5 points clear of the bottom three and leave Nottingham Forest teetering above that relegation zone by just a point. Or will they bounce back? But here comes Beto into the box, shielded away. Harrison though will pick it up. Harrison on the right hand flank, cuts back on Aina. Harrison with a cross, and away in there by Williams. I think got the gathering to clear it away. Garner with a delivery. That one's overhit by James Garner. Goal kick to Nottingham Forest, but a glimpse there from Everton. Maybe they're re-entering the game in an attacking sense. Speaking of that really bad run, Everton 1 win in 15. They only kept 3 clean sheets in that time. They conceded 28 goals in 15 games. That's averaging just short of 2 goals per game. They only scored 10 in that period and failed to score 6 times in that run. But at the moment, they're bucking that trend. They have scored. At the moment are keeping a clean sheet. At the moment are getting a win. And they're keeping the ball out of their own net, which is crucial. As it stands though, anything can still happen. Alanga. Ainanai. Out to the left is Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi with the ball into the box. Wood was beaten to it as it's half cleared by Everton. Aina in with a challenge and a pull down there on the Everton player, but they will get the bounce of the ball. And Doucouré's ball to McNeil couldn't be held in by the Everton's number 7, and it runs for a Nottingham Forest goal kick. But good refereeing by Anthony Taylor there, allowed the advantage, but Everton couldn't make anything of it. Now they're underway in our 2 other games in the Premier League this afternoon at Villa Park and at Selhurst Park. All the parks involved today. Goodison Park, Villa Park, Selhurst Park. At the moment it is goalless between those in those other two games. We'll keep the date if anything changes between now and the full-time whistle here at Goodison. Dominguez battling for the ball. Won the ball. Niakate lays it off to Nico Williams. Is there one twist? Another twist in the tail, all low. Dominguez giving it away. Everton can come forward. Doucouré now. Not many bodies flooding forward for Everton, really. Here's Harrison. Harrison with a cross. Doucouré trying to reach it. And there is a foul in there on the retreating Forest defender, Nico Williams. And it will get him a free kick inside his own box. Very good defending by Nico Williams, putting his body on the line. And Doucouré just inadvertently catching the Forest defender. And that will get him a booking. I think that's a bit harsh, but he has been shown a yellow card here. And that is the first of the game for an on-field player. Remember, there was a Forest member of the Forest coaching staff booked earlier in the game, but that's the first player to be booked this afternoon. Long ball by Forest. Gibbs White to chase. Takes it to the corner flag. Tries to cut it back for someone else, but Tarkowski nicks it away. Garner. Now Doucouré. Better link up from Everton here. Garner adding that extra dynamism in midfield. Switch up in their passing, but have to come all the way back to Jordan Pickford though. Everton. Final 15 minutes at Goodison. Everton 1, Forest 0. Is there another goal on the cards at either end? It would be huge in terms of the relegation battle. Dwight McNeil! There's that other goal, and almost identical to Idrissa Gueye's goal in the first half. This one snuck in off the opposite post, and a slice of luck, maybe forcing Everton's way. But another good goal by Dwight McNeil off the inside of the right post, and it finds the back of the net. Sneaks past Sells and gives Everton a 2-goal lead. Huge goal. And what a response from their absolute drubbing on Monday night away at Chelsea. Bouncing back against one of their relegation battlers. And battling they are. Again, it's almost identical situation. No one tracking the runner. No one engaging to try and stop the shot from distance. Forest let it happen. Everton take the shot. And it finds the corner. Incredible. And I'm sure Forest will be disappointed because they feel they've been the better team. But how do we talk about it? How many times do we say it when you do not take advantage of your dominance in a game? At this level, you will be caught out. And Forest once again have been caught out. Everton 2, Nottingham Forest 0. And that goal would be huge for them in the relegation fight. As Forest have the ball back. And they need a miracle. They need a hero at Goodison. Are they going to get one, or will it be a drubbing for them? Because here comes McNeil again. Dwight McNeil from distance again. The keeper takes the pace off it, and luckily it doesn't bounce past him. Just into his hands it goes. But Everton, from nowhere, have unleashed a bit of a threat. Forest in a bit of a bad position, to say the very least. Let's just bring that table up again for you. This is where we stand. As it stands with Everton winning, and winning well at the moment, with a 2-goal lead. Forest will only be a point above the relegation zone. Everton will take themselves 5 points clear of Luton in third bottom, in 18th. Still a long way to go though. And Everton will have a game in hand as well in the mix. Here's Forest in the box. Wood blocked off. And bodies in the way to clear it for Everton. A scramble at the back, but they did it well to get it clear of danger. And Forest will have the throw in as well, or Everton will have the throw in, sorry, as well. And there's actually a VAR check ongoing. No idea what for. And they're checking for a possible penalty. Possible handball on James Tarkowski. We'll say it again. Cross comes in. Wood battling. That's not handball. I mean, that's not handball. They're going to make triple change here for us. 3 changes oncoming. So, a big switch up from Nuno Espirito Santo. Already made 1 change, and it's going to be Ryan Yates, Rodrigo Ribeiro and Divock Origi all coming on for Forest, replacing Nicolas Dominguez, Danilo and Callum Hudson-Odoi. So 3 changes for Forest, all more or less in midfield or attack. And Divock Origi, former Liverpool man, scored a big late goal against Everton. That was at Anfield in red colours to secure derby win for Liverpool. About 6 years ago that was. Everton will be hoping he doesn't have any sort of impact for Forest here on the blue side of Merseyside. Free kick incoming here for Everton, and there's a yellow card as well coming because the referee's not happy with the fact that Everton have had a player come running to them in Jared Branthwaite complaining for a possible yellow card. Jared Branthwaite wanting the referee to give a card to the Forest player and ends up with one himself. And rightfully so. They know the rules. You can't run up to a referee and complain because you will end up in the book. And that is exactly what has happened to Jared Branthwaite there, who's joined his teammate Abdoulaye Doucouré in the referee's book here this afternoon. Everton free kick though. We have a goal at Selhurst Park. Tell you about that in a moment. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Ryan Yates did get a yellow card, by the way, in the process, so maybe that complaining from Jared Branthwaite maybe worked. Who knows? Cross comes in from Everton and Sells to parry it away ahead of Branthwaite. Cross comes back in. Branthwaite with a header and bounces behind. Will be a corner though. It took a deflection on the way through. As I was saying, goal at Selhurst Park, and Palace in good form, and that form continuing. Michael Elise has them in front. The number 7 scoring in the 7th minute. Crystal Palace lead by a 1-0. Crystal Palace 1, West Ham United 0. As the corner is taken short by Everton. Harrison with a cross. Away. Not fully cleared that time, as Ribeiro couldn't clear it. McNeil has it back for Everton. Ashley Young now in the box. Laid it off, but given away as Origi goes down, and we'll get a free kick. And Jack Harrison's going to also receive a yellow card for denying a positive attack, counter-attack there from Forest. So a free kick and a yellow card for Jack Harrison. 8 minutes to go. Everton 2, Forest 0. Will be a grandstand finish at Goodison. Or will Everton see this one through? Will Forest have enough in the tank? Enough in the final third to rescue something from this game? At the moment, we've not seen enough from them in the final third, Forest. They'll have a throw in though. Right hand side. High up in the Everton half. Aina to take the long throw. into the box. Away by Doucouré. All the way back to Sells, the Forest keeper, who goes long. Targets Chris Wood, who flicks the header on. Alanga takes it wide on the left. Alanga runs into the box at the byline. Runs out of room. And Everton win it back as they come away with the ball. Lovely ball. Here's McNeil trying to thread it through for Doucouré, and really good challenge by Niakate. Had to make it clean and composed, and he did it well against Abdoulaye Doucouré there. And Forest have the ball once more. Don't forget, of course, we have another game on the way for you. Another one of Merseyside's finest in action. It's red side of Merseyside in action there at Craven Cottage. Liverpool away to Fulham. 4:30 kickoff for you. We'll be live for that one. And also the FA Cup semi-final. Coventry against Manchester United. That kicks off at 3:30. And when we're live for our second game this afternoon, we will, of course, update you as to what is happening in that FA Cup semi-final. And hopefully we'll be able to give you the final score on that one and confirm the FA Cup final match-up for you a bit later on this afternoon. As Forest have it at the back. Need to get it forward if they're going to try and rescue something. They need to find a goal from somewhere. Here's Morgan Gibbs-White. They just run ragged there. And Abdoulaye Doucouré, the man deemed to have fouled him, so it will be a free kick to Forest, as Morgan Gibbs-White tells his players to get forward. It's very a pretty incensed hand gesture there. So Gibbs-White to take this free kick, and Forest throwing all of their outfield bodies forward to try and threaten, try and rescue something. And there's a player fell to the floor there, Tarkowski. The referee will just sort this out. Mind tricks. Gibbs-White ready to take it. Ball fizzed towards the back post. Flicked on. Cleared away by Everton. And out for the throw-in to Forest. We've seen late comebacks, late drama, late action, late goals all throughout this season. Forest, amongst any other, will be desperate for it at this late stage. Long throw into the box again. A good throw. Away by Tarkowski. Nico Williams lays it off to Aina. Aina with a whip ball in. Headed by Chris Wood. Straight across goal and then headed away and cleared away by Everton again. As Murillo could only put that one out for a Everton throw. There are some hints of a push laid on from Forest. Attempts. But so far, nothing to show for it. I did promise I would tell you about what we've got coming up in midweek for you. 3 games. All 3 title challengers in action. We're at the Emirates on Tuesday night as Arsenal take on Chelsea in a London derby. Then we're here at Goodison again on Wednesday night as Everton take on Liverpool in the Merseyside derby. That's on Wednesday night. Before Manchester City are back in action and they head to the South Coast and they face Brighton on Thursday night. So 3 nights of midweek action for you in the Premier League. 3 huge games for the title challengers. Another goal at Sellers Park. We'll tell you about it in a moment as Forest have a free kick here. Whipped in by Gibbs-White. Palmed away by Pickford. Nico Williams to try and recycle it, but it's cleared away by Everton. Second goal, as I mentioned, at Sellers Park, and it's another goal for Crystal Palace. This time, Aberieze with a goal to double Crystal Palace's lead. Crystal Palace 2. West Ham 0. Bit of a stoppage here Nico Williams, in a battle, has just gone behind the advertising hoardings. And he's coming back, slowly getting back to his feet. There's a big drop behind those advertising boards. The game instantly stopped to check upon the welfare of the Forest player. It's good to see that even Everton players are coming over, making sure that the player's alright. Nico Williams, it's just pushed out of play by Dwight McNeil, and the momentum took him, upended him off the pitch and over the advertising board there. He's up and is okay. Nico Williams, a bit of a shock, I would say, but he is fine. But Forest, I don't think they will be particularly happy with their outcome today, if it stays the way it is, of course. In the danger. Although Ribeiro in the box couldn't get the ball under control. One long hopeful ball actually worked out that time for Forest, but they couldn't get their player, Ribeiro, couldn't get it under control. Nice ball by Yates though. Here is Ribeiro. Maybe try and set something up for Forest late on here. Alanga. Into the box. Up for that, it was Origi, but just ahead of him. And Origi near, but yet so far. Aina. Last couple of seconds of the 90. Plus additional time to come. Alanga. Beaten off the ball, but fairly challenged, said the referee, so play on. As Everton get it away. And we'll find out how long will be added on at the end of the 90. Which will be... there'll be a free kick to Everton here in the process. 9 added minutes. 9 minutes to go. Still a bit of time. A bit to go here for Everton. Defensively, to try and hold this site. And to get this victory. To convert this 2-goal lead into 3 points. A huge 3 points in their bid for survival. It'll be a long way to get their bid for survival. They do have a free kick here. Tarkovsky goes long. Beto was the target, but Forest get it away, but inadvertently actually give it back to Everton through Alanga. Harrison battling. Alanga challenging for the ball back, and Aina scrambling. Does win it, but poor pass by Aina. Here's Doucouré. Edge of the box. Trying to squeeze his way through, but Forest battling him off. Holding him off. And now the giveaway. And Aina challenge there. Will get the free kick. And now a bit of respite for Forest at the back there. Which will give them a bit of a breather. If they're going to want to set up for a late finish, they're going to have to move quickly. Because the clock is against them. 7.5 minutes to go. That's quite a long time in football, but it's only 7.5 minutes. That's all they have left. To try and conjure up 2 goals. To rescue themselves from this position. Cross from the right hand side. Ribeiro takes it down. Isn't allowed the chance to take the strike. And a collision. A clash of heads here. And a really bad one, because all the players are scrambling, waving for the physios to come flying on here. Both players down, one of each team. A clash of heads which will delay the game. Doesn't look good, because every single one of both sets of players and the referee incessantly waving for the for the physios to come on here instantly. So there will be a bit of a stoppage, and which will give me time to tell you that there's been another goal at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace are absolutely on fire today. I said if you're going to get confidence from something, it's a win at Anfield. Well, I'm sure I was right, because Crystal Palace have extended their lead even further. They now lead by 3 goals to nil, and maybe a slice of luck in their favour. An own goal from Emerson has extended Palace's lead to 3-0. Fantastic for Crystal Palace, who are in... Well, they're not going to be threatening for anywhere near the top half of the table, and they're not going to be threatened by relegation, so they're in a limbo, but they're still pushing out results against teams that still have things to play for. And Crystal Palace on course with only their 5th home win of the season. They're well on their way, 3-0 up after just 22 minutes. Still goalless in that other game as well. At Villa Park, Aston Villa 0, Bournemouth 0. Maybe a bit of a showing that there's a bit of fatigue from the sides that played in midweek in Europe, with Aston Villa and West Ham both not finding the net early on. Aston Villa, though, have probably held more of the ball, but struggling with the attacking output at the moment. West Ham completely struggling at the other end defensively. In a high-intensity game against Bayer Leverkusen in midweek will have taken it out of them, and clearly shows that. Liverpool will be hoping that after their endeavours on Thursday night, they're not impacted in the same way. There is a stoppage. Stoppage is continuing here. Still both players receiving treatment for that clash ahead. I didn't see who the two players were. We never got a close-up angle of it, so clearly it's not fine enough for us to see a replay of it. Must be pretty bad, pretty gruesome. And Sean Dyche's just having a chat to see how his side will try and play this one out. Going to make a change. Shermiti is ready on the sideline, so he will be entering the fray before the final whistle at some point here in a moment. Of course, we have played we are into the 6th minute of 9 added minutes, but of course we'll have a bit longer as there's been a good few minutes of stoppage here. So we will play over 100 minutes at this point. Well, Beto is one of the players involved, I'm hearing. And I think Morgan Gibbs-White was the other. Because I've just seen Morgan Gibbs-White back on his feet, and he looks pretty okay to continue. He's back to his feet. But it's Beto that is the concern at the moment. And of course, the medicals team will take their utmost time, as the welfare and health and safety of the player is of the utmost importance. And we will see. I mean, at the moment I'm calculating a good 4 minutes or so of a stoppage we've had here, so we will of course play a good amount of minutes. Beto, still the one of major concern after a completely accidental clash of heads with Morgan Gibbs-White. We still await to see his condition. Beto. Just awaiting. Still getting those. And we're still not seeing a replay or any sort of kind of wide angle of any sort of incident. The incident that did happen. So we are still awaiting. Clearly it's enough to hold us off for the moment. In the meantime, while we are waiting, I'll talk about the run-in then. The fight for survival. It's the key moment. It's the key point. And Everton, of course, have that game in hand on the teams in and around them. If a win goes their way this afternoon, which it seems it's likely to, they will go 5 points clear with a game in hand, of course, as well. That game in hand they will play in midweek, of course, with Liverpool in action. So that derby. So they could, by the end of midweek, be a good 8 points clear of Luton in 18th, which would certainly be a very good advantage, considering they would only have 4 games left to play for to chase them down. In terms of Forest, it doesn't leave them in a pretty good position. They have 4 games after this. They have Manchester City at home, which is, a title challenger. Manchester City, goes without saying, tough. Then they have away visit to Sheffield United, then Chelsea at home before they face Burnley on the final day at Turf Moor. That could be huge, by the way. On the final day, if things come to turn. The other battlers, Luton, who find themselves a point behind Forest, just inside the bottom 3. They have Wolves away, Everton at home, West Ham away, and Fulham at home. So fairly comfortable fixtures, but that Everton game will be huge at Kenilworth Road. And then Burnley have Manchester United away, Newcastle at home, Spurs away, and Forest at home. That Forest game, their most winnable game, and that's on the final day, so they might even be relegated by that point. Who knows, depending on results and details. That is where we stand. Everton's running, just for pure confidence. Brentford at home, Luton away, Sheffield United at home, Arsenal away on the final day. Their remainder 4 games after their 2 games in the next few days. So, Beto is putting his thumb up to the crowd and going off on the stretcher. So he is conscious, he is responding, and he is seeing that he is responding to the applause from the home crowd and all the fans inside the stadium, including Nottingham Forest fans, applauding Beto as he goes off on the stretcher. And he's just been replaced by Yusuf Shermiti, coming on for Everton. And we wish Beto all the very best in his recovery and hope that he gets back to full fitness as soon as possible. And that was quite a long stoppage. That was a good, I'd say, 7-8 minutes. 7 or 8 minutes indeed. So still quite a massive amount of kind of added time still to come. Now Murillo's just been shown a yellow card here for a challenge. Pretty unnecessary. We do have team news from Craven Cottage. That's just come into us an hour away from kick-off at Craven Cottage between Fulham and Liverpool. We'll call that one for you when we can. That kicks off at 4:30, so about an hour away. But we're not done here at Goodison yet. Everton have a free kick into the 102nd minute, and I would tend to say that there's probably another 6 or 7 minutes to come. Here, maybe playing to the 108th, 109th minute probably of this one after that long stoppage in the game. Gibbs White going for the long crossfield ball, but cut out that time by Dwight McNeil. As Everton hold the ball up here. Garner maybe trying to finish the game, but the block there by Niakate and the clearance out for the throw-in on the left-hand side to the Toffees. We have a goal at Villa Park to tell you about. Tell you about that in a moment. But there is a goal at Villa Park. Is Everton just trying to hold the ball up as far away from their goal as possible. We do have that goal at Villa Park, and it's gone the way of the visitors. Bournemouth have taken the lead, and that midweek kind of fatigue could be showing, and it seems to be showing in Villa and in West Ham so far. Dominic Solanke from the penalty spot, putting Bournemouth 1 up at Villa Park. Aina, long ball forward, straight the way through into the box. Jordan Pickford can collect. And they'll try and run the clock down as much as they possibly can, Everton, in the late stages. We have another goal at Selhurst Park. This is the most exciting part of the job at the moment. It is genuinely never in their wildest dreams would Crystal Palace fans believe this is the scoreline After 32 minutes, Forest defending there, almost under pressure, get a goal kick out of it. They would never in their wildest dreams have believed this would be the scoreline. Crystal Palace 4, West Ham United 0, 32nd minute. Jean-Philippe Mateta with the 4th goal, and Crystal Palace are in easy street at the moment. Incredible from them. Woeful from West Ham United, who haven't had a shot in the game. Crystal Palace 4, West Ham 0. Wowee. Gibbs White. Here's Ola Aina. Gibbs White, there's bodies in the box. Tries to find one of them. It's kept in, but headed back towards the path of Jordan Pickford, who holds on. I have to say, I've been disappointed at times with Forest in the final third. They've a lot of quality, a lot of ability, a lot of talent in there, and just not showcased it enough today. That'll be their biggest kind of disappointment, with the fact they haven't showcased it enough. And the fact that they've been below par in the final third, Forest. But they will take stock, and will know that they will have 4 games after this to try and stave off relegation. 3 of which they will feel that they will be able to get big points from. If they could, who knows. Good battle by Murillo. They've not given up the hope yet, though. Slim as it is, they're still going forward. Here's Nico Williams. Back to Gibbs White. Chips the ball into the box, and Jordan Pickford sees it coming and comes flying out to grab it, to hold on again for Everton. Sure, he's desperate for a clean sheet. That's Everton on the verge of it. About another 2 minutes, I would say, to go in this one. Did have that long stoppage into added time for that clash of heads between Morgan Gibbs White and Beto. There's been another yellow card brandished here. It was Chermiti that gets the yellow card for blocking the Forest free kick, so he's in the book. As Forest take that long free kick into the box, it comes, and out the other end it goes. Goal kick to Everton. The home crowd now, I believe, singing "We love you, Everton, we do" around Goodison. An atmosphere to hold, to behold. And a huge 3 points it could be for the Toffees here, as they had another challenge there, but the referee said play on as Forest come forward. It's do or die. Last ditch stuff now needed. Here's Origi. Runs into trouble, but will win the throw in. Divock Origi. And that was the last action of the game. They did enough. They held on for a long period to that second half, Everton, and they got that crucial second goal that seals victory for them. Nottingham Forest on the road, not their finest display in the final third, lacking accuracy and composure. Everton had that in abundance at times. 2 long-range efforts, one from Idrissa Gueye, one from Dwight McNeil, both finding the back of the net from the inside of opposing posts. Great goals from Everton, great result for them, and they take themselves 5 points clear of the relegation zone. Forest teetering above the drop, but they have games to change that, and this relegation battle is far from over yet. But one thing is for certain, Everton have taken a big step to safety here this afternoon. That home crowd doing the business once again and helping them over the line on a big day on Merseyside. Final score, Everton 2, Nottingham Forest 0. There we are, that's the confirmation. Those other two games, Bournemouth leading by a goal to nil at Aston Villa and 4-0 to Crystal Palace. So the table, before we leave you, is as it stands now. Everton, as you can see, 30 points, 5 ahead of Luton, and a game in hand as well to boot. Their 10th win of the season, their 5th at home, is as big as could be. They're 4 points ahead of Forest, 5 ahead of Luton, and a good 7 ahead of Burnley, but 5 points above the drop. Sees Everton in a fairly good position. Still a bit to go, still not out of the water yet, but that was a huge step towards safety for the Toffees. Don't forget, more Premier League action for you in around about a quarter of an hour, or 3/4 of an hour's time. At 4:30 kick-off, Fulham against Liverpool from Craven Cottage, as we watch Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, who try go back second in the table, joint top on points. That is if they win this afternoon. Right, we'll see you then. See you in a couple of minutes. See you very shortly here on LFS as Fulham take on Liverpool fairly shortly. Do see you then.